Hey guys, thanks for watching. We want to give you a real-time update. We're currently in Waterford, New York. We are at lock number 2 on the Erie Canal, and this is the final lock. We've done all the locks on the Erie Canal. The only other lock that we have to do is the Troy Federal lock, right? And that's on the Hudson River, and we'll do that tomorrow as we head south on the Hudson River and go into a place called Catskills so that we can step our mast back up and get back to a real sailboat. Behind Char, you'll see that's what our boat looks like now. The mast is on the deck and has been there since we started this in Tonawanda back a while ago. So
about August 5th, I think, is when we were in Tonawanda and started the canal proper.
August 5th,
Yep.
Okay. We started in Tonawanda, and the marina boatyard that we stopped at was called Wardell's Boatyard. It's what everybody, not everybody, but most people use Wardell's as you're starting on that end. And then when you get to this end, everybody goes to a place called Hoppano's, which is where we're going to be going tomorrow to step the mast and take care of a few little projects, that kind of thing. And then we're on into New York City and all the way down the coast from there. So but we want to talk a couple of the highlights. What do you think your highlight so far has been on the trip? Do you have one yet?
The whole trip or just the canal?
Yeah, just the canal so far.
I think the canal has just been incredible. A lot of really pretty things to see, and the history is just amazing. We've had several stops where we've done museums and kind of toured the locks.
Favorite museum so far? What do you have?
Probably the Wayne County Sheriff's Residence.
Yes.
Yeah,
mine
that
too.
was in Lyons, New York. We didn't stay the night there, but we stopped on the wall and walked up to the museum. It was an old sheriff's residence. They've been using it since the 1800s or something, and it was in use until 1960 something, 64, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's the residence, and inside the residence is the jail, and the cells are still there. There's still drawings on the walls from the inmates. It was the first they had the first legal execution in Wayne County, New York, there. And I think that was their only one before they started doing it somewhere else.
And the cells are so small.
Oh.
If you're claustrophobic, you can't even imagine. The cells are just wide enough. There's like a cot kind of a thing about this wide, and then you double that, and that's as big as the cell was wide, and it was probably 8 or 10 feet long. It was so claustrophobic. You can go inside. I thought that was really good. I really enjoyed Lockport.
Yeah, Lockport was really nice. Your first true locks on the Erie Canal. We stayed in Middleport, which was a little bit further down the canal, but we took a bus back to Lockport because they have a really nice sort of visitor or discovery center, and you can tour. There's 2 locks in Lockport. You can stand above them on the bridges. You can tour the original Flight of 5, one set of the original Flight of 5.
So what that means is, originally when they built this, there were 2 ladder locks that were side by side. So they were 5 locks, and it just went down like a set of stairs.
Yeah.
And when they redid the lock to widen it to allow bigger boats, longer boats, wider boats, they kept one of them, and you can still watch it on a Saturday. They will lock a replica boat through the Flight of 5, which is stunning to see, but it's original to the 1825 locks. Yes. So this is the 200-year anniversary. So you can still watch them do that on a Saturday. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, Lockport was really cool.
Yeah. This is Waterford. We're in Waterford, right on the Hudson River. Really cool. The Boaters Visitor Center is right here. They did a farmer's market Sunday morning. We have seen all kinds of cool stuff. There's 2 bald eagles that sit on a dead tree right across from us here. We just saw a swan riding on top of a kayak. These people were just kayaking around, and the swan just hopped on and
Yeah.
and was just getting
Bizarre.
a free ride. I mean, friggin' freeloaders, all right? What are you doing? So,
We just got back. We rode our bikes over to Cohoes Falls, which is the second largest waterfall in New York, after Niagara, of course. So we rode our bikes over there. It's pretty spectacular to see. Really neat. And then we rode over to Peebles Island and just checked that out. A lot of hiking trails. Yeah, so a
Easy.
lot of really, really fun things. Little Falls was another good stop for us.
Yeah.
Gorgeous town, right in the valley, so houses and buildings and the mountains are just right there, right behind. Some really cool rock formations. Just
the sound you just
incredible.
heard, that's our ice maker, by the way. And for Lori, our good friend Lori, got us these a while ago, Into the Mystic. So cheers, Lori.
Cheers.
You and Mark, we appreciate it. Thank you. Easier or harder than you thought the canal itself was going to be?
I mean, I think easier, but also some things were harder at first. Like getting good at locking through, while it seems like it should be easy, sometimes it's not. So especially with the sailboat and the mast.
Yes.
All of this on
All of it.
deck. I'm at the bow and I have to grab a line on a wall while also keeping the bow from hitting the concrete wall. Yeah, so it's a little difficult, especially if it's windy or there's a little bit of current in the lock. Thankfully, we were going down for most of the locks. I think we went up 3 times. So what that means is normally we would pull into a lock and they let the water out of the lock. So
Like a bathtub, draining a bathtub down.
we would go down anywhere from 8 feet to 34. The largest one was 40.5 feet, which was a little nervy.
It's a lot.
And going down seems to be easier. Going up, you have more current from the water coming in.
Yes.
So it moves the boat a lot. So if you couple that with some wind, it makes it a little more difficult.
Yeah, I thought the locks were overall easier than I thought they were going to be. We had some friends, Jordan and Mary Beth, who did this going the other way, meaning they came in here at Waterford, the exact same lock that we're sitting at today, but the majority of their locks were up, so and a much bigger boat. But so we had some basic information about what it was going to look like and some things to look out for, which was really helpful. But going down was much easier than the going ups, I think.
Yeah, I think one thing that's nice too is with the lift bridges in the canal and also with the locks, generally the first one you go through, you let them know how far you're going to travel in a day, and they will pass that information along. So often, especially if boat traffic is low, you don't have to wait very long or at all. You radio them when you get close to the lock, and they'll tell you watch for the green light and the gates to open, and you can go right in. I think there was only just a couple of times we had to wait for other boats to lock through or for the lift bridge operator to get to the bridge and lift the bridge.
So it's 360-ish miles for the Erie Canal, Tonawanda to Waterford, where we're sitting today, and it's a total of 34 locks on the actual canal itself.
Yeah.
You do one before you get in the canal on that end, and one once you get out of the canal on this end. But it's 360 miles, and it has been beautiful. It's serene. There's tons of little towns. There has not been a tremendous amount of boat traffic.
No, it's been pretty quiet.
Yeah.
We've met a lot of great people.
Oh, great people.
We haven't had to spend a lot of money. That's one thing that's nice about the Erie Canal. There are many free stops, so you can stop and tie up to a wall. Often you won't have power or restroom facilities, but we have that on the boat. So
thank you, Jordan.
We have
for the power,
and we have obviously a bathroom. So it's really nice to stop and stay the night for free. And a lot of places, if they charge you, it's a very small amount. So like $20 a night, or I think here it's $10 a night at Waterford, and then $5 if you want to use the restroom and shower. So that's been
Easy.
Really nice. The other thing that's been different and has saved us money actually is that most of these towns, even if they do have restaurants and bars, which they do, a lot of them, but they're in short supply, they're closed a lot.
A lot.
And I mean a lot. Like in Little Falls, everything was closed until Thursday. Like Monday through Thursday, everything was closed. Sunday, there was one restaurant open, nothing else. The brewery in Little Falls was open on Fridays and Saturdays.
Yep.
So
we're in Waterford right now, and there is one restaurant open tonight, an Italian restaurant. No, are they closed too?
You mean the Irish?
No, the Irish one.
No,
They're,
I don't believe they're open.
There's no restaurant open.
And I get today is Labor Day.
Sure,
so
I get that. There's no bars.
But
there's not a bar in this town that's open.
No, but aside from today being Labor Day, we've been on the canal since August 5th, and we've run into this a lot. Like closed until Wednesday, closed until Thursday, only open Friday and Saturday. And then when they are open, it's usually like 4 or 5 o'clock until 10 or 11. So being sailors, people like to say sailors midnight is 8 p.m. and that's very true for us.
It's very true.
So we like to have dinner early.
Because we're up early.
That doesn't really work out well if we're going to go to town. So
because we have not been able to use our mast and sails, we have relied strictly 100% for the entire length of the canal. We've relied solely on our diesel engine. That's it, because there's no wind power to move us along here. Char has been really great about keeping track of some of these little details. How much have we spent in fuel from start?
Fuel from the start. So we left Whitehall, Michigan on June 24th, and we had a full tank, so I didn't count that. But what we have spent on fuel to go this 1,153 miles is $355.92. So it works out to be about 30 cents per mile. So
30 cents a mile is what we have spent in fuel. We did an oil change before we left. Good friend of ours, Mike Margraves, taught us how to do oil changes, and it has saved us enormous time and money. And we have done an oil change before we left, and we've done one part way.
I think we've done 2 since we've been underway, I believe.
2 since we've been underway.
Yes.
So, but it has saved because literally out here they say when you're out here you're on your own. That's it. You have to know how to do it. Quick story: before we got to the Erie Canal, we were leaving the Detroit River. Once we got into Lake Erie, we were sailing over to a place called Middle Bass Island, which is right by Put-in Bay. And if you've seen our videos, you heard me talk about this. We lost a fuel pump partway, but we didn't know what the issue was. We just know the engine died and we couldn't restart it. We got towed into Middle Bass Island, and the next morning I got on the phone and started leaving messages for diesel mechanics on the mainlands, because we're literally in the middle of Lake Erie. And the only guy that I got on the phone laughed and said, "Hey, you're on your own, man. You're gonna have to figure this out unless you can get a tow the 40 or 50 miles to get over to the mainland, and we can have somebody look at it in 2 weeks."
Also, just a note on that is Rich did receive a phone call back from another mechanic about a week ago.
A week ago, yeah.
So that's been well over a month since he originally left the message, and we were in Middle Bass Island. And he called back and said he could not get to it until September or something.
Yeah,
so,
he couldn't do it till September.
I mean, we would have still been there.
Yeah. So you really have to be pretty self-sufficient out here. And thank God for, I don't want to mention all the names because I'm sure I'll leave somebody out. There have been lots of good people who have been, prior to us leaving, very instrumental in helping us. People, I said I wasn't going to do it, but people like Josh, Mike Margraves, Cody, Matt, the other Matt at Armstrong's in Whitehall.
Jordan, of course.
Oh my God, Jordan Promota. He and Mary Beth have been absolutely invaluable. We have 800 watts of solar, 6 100 amp hour lithium batteries. We are 100% self-sufficient, thanks wholly to Jordan and his expertise in putting this together.
And more than that, he's answered million questions
stupid
the last
stuff.
Several years.
Yes.
And since we've been on this trip, so it's really been helpful.
It's really been good.
We appreciate it a lot. Anyone who's helped us, who's given us advice, or helped us troubleshoot when we've had problems.
Or
we
just
are so appreciative. We would not be here without all of that.
Just people's encouragement of, hey, you can do this. I remember Josh King in Whitehall. Josh said to me, because at first we were going to ship the boat via truck over to Norfolk, Virginia, and I remember standing on the dock in Whitehall and Josh saying, why are you doing that? And I was like, well, it's a long way to go by boat. And he goes, yeah, but that's what your boat's for.
And that's the point.
Don't do that. And just people all along the way have been really encouraging, like, hey, you'll figure this out. This is not undoable. This is not a thing that you cannot overcome. So
we've also met a ton of great people since we started the trip.
Crazy good.
So many people that have helped us along the way. So big shout out to Kevin in Port Sanilac, because he
love you, Kevin.
He was so sweet and so kind and helpful to us. He had heard that we needed a ride to get a rental car when we were back in Port Sanilac, Michigan, and he was like, yeah, I'll take you. So actually he didn't take us, he picked us up. So he drove 40 minutes
for nothing,
just to pick us up. We were strangers. And picked us up from the car rental place and took us back to our boat. And he and Rich are now great friends and text each other, because he's also a fellow sailor. Yep. He and his wife Tara have traveled all over Canada and on Lake Huron. So it's really great good people.
Scott and Sarah on K Sarah, a big 48-foot catamaran sailboat that is on its way back to Michigan now. Cannot even begin to tell you how important and valuable their information has been to us. Yes. They were so generous and kind. They bought their boat on the other side of Mexico and brought it through the Panama Canal and all through the Keys and the Bahamas, and have been a constant source of good information and waypoints to stop at, places to anchor along the way, and continue to check in with us. And you guys doing okay? Any problems? You're doing good. So really good. Lots and lots of people that we've met.
Yeah, we met some people in Little Falls, Dwayne and Diana and Matthew and Nancy, and had a lot of fun. We had drinks a couple of nights with them, and kind of skipped around with Matthew and Nancy. And all four of them gave us some great tips on dealing with the tides in the Hudson River and just some other things, and just the friendship. And Matthew had a good point. He said, it's great when you meet people on a boat like this at different ports, because you automatically already have something in common. It's easy to become fast friends because you have boating in common. And it's such a strange, weird, wild way of life that people who live on land and don't stay on their boat for weeks or months at a time just can't possibly understand.
It's very different than marina living.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Hank
and Wendy, some people from St. Clair, Michigan, who were docked behind us in a couple different spots. They left this morning going to Hoppeno's down the Hudson River, and were kind and sent information like, hey, here's what the Troy Federal Lock looks like when you're going through it, and we'll let you know once we get down to Hoppeno's, what you can expect tomorrow when you get here. So just lots of just good people who you would probably never meet in your life, but you become fast friends, and
they're from all over. I mean,
everywhere. Yeah.
Connecticut and Michigan.
Steve.
Oh, how could we possibly?
How could we possibly forget them?
Steve and Kathy, we had
On
been
Saint Somewhere.
Saint Somewhere. We met
Oh
them
my
in
God.
Michigan, somewhere on Lake Huron. Where did we first? I think maybe Harrisville. No,
I think
no, it was further north than that.
I have the mind of a crack baby, so I'm not the guy to ask.
We met them pretty far north on Lake Huron, and then we ended up ahead of them because they had to run home to New Mexico.
Yep.
And then they actually stopped their Erie Canal journey like a week or so ago and left their boat in Winter Harbor, which is in Brewerton, New York. And they'll come back next year and start back up. But we've been trading pictures and stories and just good, honestly great people. Great people.
So most of you already know this, but just to give you an idea, we started in Whitehall, Michigan. We went north under the Mackinac Bridge, for those of you that know, through the Straits, and then we came down Lake Huron. We crossed over Saginaw Bay into the under the Blue Water Bridge, down the rivers through Lake St. Clair, out Lake Erie. We stopped in all different places, Cleveland and Dunkirk, and then Buffalo, and we got into the Canal in Tonawanda. So go back and look at some of our previous videos if you want to know where we were at any given time, or if you have a question, send us just send us a question. We're happy to answer it.
Yeah.
Where do we go next? What's next for us? By the way, thank you, Lori, for turning us on to gin and tonics all those years ago.
Boat drink.
Oh, made our life so much better. Thank you.
So we are tomorrow headed to, as we said, down the Hudson to Hoppanoose, which is in Catskill. We actually will be there pretty close to a month. We are going to park the boat. We'll have the mast put back up, and then we do have to run home to Michigan.
Yep.
And Rich is going to do some teaching all over the state. So I think we're going to be Livingston County, Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo, Mount Pleasant, home in Charlotte and Eaton County. So a lot of driving.
So if you are a 911 dispatcher or supervisor, check out macandlow.com to get information on where we're going to be in person. So.
Yes, he will be in person. So, and then we will come back to the boat, I think September 24th-ish, and continue south down the Hudson and pop out in New York City. So we're pretty excited about that. However, we're going to have to start spending money, so that is sad. We're not looking forward to that.
We had a call back today from a marina, not in New York City, north of New York City. And the guy said, we're the cheapest place you're going to find between where you are in the city, and we're $4 a foot. So every foot that your boat is, it's $4. So if you're going to stay there, normally in Michigan, it's $1 or $2 a foot. Once you get into the city, it's 15
a foot.
Foot per foot. So we're going to race through the city pretty quick, get down to Jersey and hit the coast pretty hard, and then go through the Chesapeake and Delaware Canal. We'll come down the Chesapeake Bay. We'll get into Norfolk, Virginia, where we'll start the Intercoastal Waterway, or the ICW, and we will slowly make our way down to Ocean Isle Beach, Florida, to see my brother and sister-in-law, Jerry and Lucy, and all of their good friends down there, and we'll keep you posted as we're making our way south. So
and since we're doing shout out to Marilyn and Sal for having Henry treat us so well when we went to the Canal side in Little Falls.
Yes,
he poured us some great drinks, and we had
Henry is the absolute best.
So thank you.
He's
for
wonderful.
That was
absolutely great. Wonderful. Yeah, it's just been really it's been good. I don't know that we've had a bad day out here. It's hard to have,
I will say, it's been great, but there are some challenges. I know people think, it must be so nice to do that and be on vacation all the time. This is a full-time job. I think I'd posted on Facebook a while back all of the work that goes into planning the routes and planning around weather, and especially in the canal, I've written down all the bridges and all the locks we're going to go through each day. So I had like 5 pages of notes just for one day of things that we were going to go through. Our last day on the locks, we did 9 locks. So yeah, it's a lot. It's very challenging. So it's not just all, rainbows and sunshine and, drinks and party and all that. It is a lot of work. There's a lot that goes into maintaining a boat while you're living on it and moving almost daily. Yeah. So yeah, it's fun, and we wouldn't trade it, but it's definitely a lot of work. It's not for the faint of heart or anyone who's high maintenance, because public restrooms all the time, not as fun as being at home.
That's true. And one final shout out while I grab that. One final shout out to the kids. I say kids, but
to Finn and Peyton.
Oh, Finn and Peyton are at home in Charlotte, in our house, and watching the cats and taking care of the house and forwarding mail and getting packages for us and answering questions and
fixing plumbing.
And we love you guys. We literally could not be out here without you guys. It's amazing how many different people have played a role in this to get us to Waterford, New York. I still keep in touch, obviously, with the people I used to work with, and Francis DeVetter is from close to this area, so it's nice to be able to send him a picture and have him know where we are, and I like this, I've been there, and we were there last year, and Lug and Jess and Dan and just Kelly and everybody. So thank you all who have helped make this happen and who have been encouraging, and even if you doubted us, you were kind enough not to say it to our face, so that we wouldn't have second or 40th thoughts about doing this trip. So from here, we're going to leave tomorrow morning. We'll start down the Hudson River, and we'll get into Catskill, New York tomorrow night, and we'll park the boat, put up the mast. We'll do some maintenance kind of stuff, and we'll get ready, and we'll come back, and hopefully we'll see some friends when we're back in Michigan. So that's it?
Yeah, I think so.
That's it. All right. We appreciate you guys. Thank you. Cheers. We'll see you next time.